Hey, this is Matt. Once again, what about the end of the video is another paid request, this time for Jonathan. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting any type of videos, topics, commentaries, reviews, reactions, what have you, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. Now, this is for a film called Edge of Winter from 2016. And this is a film I'd never heard of, and it stars Joel Kinnaman and Tom Holland. The guy would be Spider-Man, and he was in the Uncharted movie. And I kind of went, okay, Joel Kinnaman, get what Kinnaman? Like, guy was in the RoboCop remake. But I will say I liked him in the new Suicide Squad film, and I gotta say, he very much surprised me in this. He's the reason why, overall, I didn't mind this film. At the very least, I thought it was a good acting performance from him. Because I have seen guys like this character. He's a guy who's divorced. He has two boys who are living with their mother and the new stepdad. The mom and the stepdad are going to go on a vacation on a cruise. So the two boys, the older is Tom Holland, and then you have the younger kid. They go to stay with their dad. And the younger kid seems a bit more optimistic, but the older kid, Tom Holland, is like, not sure if he wants to be there. But at the same time, they're not being dicks, just not being over the top and cliche and annoying or anything of the sort. They're very quiet, subtle, low-key. The whole film is very low-key. I think that's what helped make it work as well. I didn't think, at least for Richard, it was overbearing. And Joel Kinnaman, he's a guy who is trying hard to be a good dad, but he just has these spouts of anger that just he can't control. And so these anger issues turn out to be his comeuppance. But at the same time, you tell he cares for his kids, he loves his kids. Like, for example, early on, they find a gun under the bed, and he's yelling, he's angry. He doesn't hit them, he doesn't punch them or anything, he's just yelling angry. Then quickly he apologizes, sorry that I yelled. And, like, that's a dangerous gun. Why do you have it under the bed? But it doesn't escalate further, which I thought was the right call, because it has to be a bit of a slow pot boiler, as you call it. And he said, well, actually, you know what, why don't I go out and teach you how to shoot this? So they go out to the middle of nowhere. It's the winter. And I thought the film did a decent job capturing the cold, isolation, the snow, all the elements of nature. And again, it's like he loves his kids, but the spouts of anger just erupt out of his mouth without him thinking about it. So he's teaching the kids how to shoot, and then one of the kids shoots a bunny, and he's distressed about it. And he's like, oh, Jesus, you boys are soft, huh? And he picks it up because he's going to cook it later. But yeah, the movie, I like that it has this constant state of letting us know that yes, this guy still does care for his kids. He's like, you're the best things in my life, you two. And he even teaches Tom Holland how to drive, and you still see a bit of that warmth between the characters. But you know something's going to turn. You know something's going to go off the rails. One thing leads to another, and one of the kids tells them that fairly soon they're going to be moving to London. And this is where Joel Kinnaman's character goes off the deep end. And I thought he gave, some people may deem it over the top, but I thought he gave a very solid, emotional sequence of a guy who just had the last nerve, and the last nerve got plucked. That last nerve got cut. The last string holding him on got snipped. And he's confused, and he's like, what, no one told me about this? And he's trying, he's punching the steering wheel, he even has his cast, he punches it off, the kids are begging him to stop. He's like, she can't do this, you're all I got, you're all I have left, I need you guys. And you tell that the kids, like, again, low-key, subtle performances, that they care for the dad, and the dad cares for them. But again, this is just him going off the deep end, and he even gets out, and Tom Holland goes after him, and he tries to calm down. And that's where you slowly get this slow... But at the same time, I know critics took a dump on this, saying it didn't feel real. I feel the opposite. A lot of this felt real. A lot of this felt like I have met people who are like this. I've met people that were more than likely go through, or could go through something like this, and could end up becoming like this guy. And again, just the way Joel Kinnaman played it, and I just see some people find it to be a bit boring. It's not an action-packed movie. I would not call it a horror film. I would barely call it a thriller film. It's more of a drama with like a little bit of thriller in the third act, but not, Pacific Heights breakdown, unlawful entry. I'm just thinking of like random thrillers. Nothing of that sort. At one point, his kid Tom Holland goes into the ice, and immediately Joel Kinnaman gets out and gets him out of there, and they get to the cabin. He breaks down at the end going, I fucked up. I thought I was going to lose you, and I fucked up. I'm sorry. And you buy that this guy really does mean what he says. And he does mean what he says. Again, it's just he keeps making bad decisions. So I felt sorry for the guy, but at the same time you get mad because why you keep making the bad decisions, man? Like, you want him to make it, you want him to make the right decision, but he just keeps making the wrong ones. Now, before I go further into spoilers, I will say that the ending is... It's unsatisfying because you go, oh, that's it? When you get to the ending, you go, oh, it's over now? That's it? Okay, that just seemed very ho-hum. I do think that's the weakest part of it, because when you do a slow build, the ending matters a lot, and when it's kind of a, people go, huh? What the fuck? The fuck is this? More than the end of that, to go into spoilers. But I would say, if there's a movie to showcase that Joel Kinnaman can act, it's this one, so far that I've seen from him. Like I said, I may not have liked him in the RoboCop remake, but he did a good job in this. So what I mean by escalating is that about halfway, give or take in, they're in the cabin, and these two guys come up. And apparently it was their cabin, or they were there first, and there's this awkward standoff, and then they decide to settle there. But yeah, I do like the fact that Joel Kinnaman consistently... There's never a time that he wants to hurt his kids. There's never a time he wants to beat his kids. There's never a time he wants to kill his kids. And that's what I mean by it felt more real to me. It never went to that direction. And I was actually impressed by that, because it seems like the more typical, predictable direction. Oh, he's going to hunt his kids down. He's going to go The Shining. He's going to go Jack Torrance. No, he doesn't do that. I thought that was kind of a nice change. But one of the two guys, I mean, this is spoilers, he tries to get a CB radio at his truck to get some help. And Joe's like, no, stop that, man. We gotta wait, stop. No, stop doing that. Don't take my kids away. You don't take my kids away. No, stop fighting me. Stop fighting me. You don't take my kids away. You don't. And he's making the bad decisions because there's anger issues. And he ends up accidentally killing the guy. And he goes, wake up, man. Wake up. And then he tries to keep the kids there because if they leave, he knows he won't see them again. So he's trying to keep them there. In fact, there's a point where the kids escape and he brings the kids back. But he doesn't, I'll go shoot you. No, he's like, so you guys don't leave without me? Huh? Come on, you don't come on, you don't freeze to death. Like, they know they can't stay with this guy because their dad has lost his mind. But at the same time, the dad's not being a, like I said, Jack. I love Jack Nicholson in The Shining. It works in that film. But a lot, that seems like any other film would do the same thing. Like I said, I like the direction this went in, where the dad was never wanting to kill, murder his kids. It's just, well, sadly there are a lot who do that in real life. Sad to say. It was refreshing to see that this guy consistently loved his kids. It's just, to me, it was less predictable on the route it took. That was refreshing. But on the flip side, I guess you could say that's why usually people go for the more predictable route, because it'd be, this struggle and battle of kids versus dad, and it'd be fight in a battle, and they kill the dad. No, none of that happens. The young kid gets out. Tom Holland makes a fire. Was a distraction, so he can leave the cabin as well. They get into the car that the other guy had after Joel Kinnaman kills that guy. He doesn't want his kids to be found to leave him and never see him again. He runs after the kids going, "What are you guys doing? Open the door, what are you guys doing?" He breaks the window, but he doesn't try to shoot at them, anything of the sort. The kids drive off. The dad's standing there in the middle of the road and just this lost look on his face. The kids are driving. They don't really have much words. And then the movie's over. And that's what I mean by, I think the ending just kind of go, that's it? I mean, maybe you could have had it where Tom Holland is threatening his dad, as he did say at one point, well, the nice little intense scene where Joel Kim's like, "You think I'm a bad father, huh? Come on." And he's like, lightly push him, "Come on, tell me I'm a bad father." It goads him enough to say, "Yeah, you're a bad father, you're a shit father," all that. And he doesn't beat the kid up, doesn't do anything. He holds him and tries to calm him down. And like I said, I like that it went. It would have been, yes, this is real as well. Again, there are pieces of trash that beat and do stuff to their kids and kill them. Like I said, it was just, it did a decent enough balance for me, at least, to what he's doing is bad. He killed 2 innocent people, but because he lost his mind, but he still cares about his kid, never wants to hear his kid, and they keep that consistent. So I still feel a bit of tragedy. I still feel bad for him, but he needs to be punished in some way, shape, or form. And that's why I think if you had Tom Holland have the gun on him and go, "Don't move." "Oh yeah, I know, you don't shoot because you hate me." "Listen, I don't hate you, Dad, but you're sick." Or, "I don't hate you, Dad, but you're this, you're that. What you're doing is wrong." It's one of those where it could be like a mercy killing. He doesn't want to do it. He hates that he has to do it. But kind of like having the... They had a setup for it too. Joel Kinnaman, when the bunny was killed, he finishes off and it's like, what, I'm going to leave it there and be miserable? I have to put it out of its misery. You could have it where Tom Holland's like, either he's going to be this obsessed, sick, fucked up, and going to keep us there, and yet it's accidentally hurt or accidentally killed, including my younger brother, or I now put him out of his misery. Type of self-defense. I think there's some tension and some drama and there's some pathos. You could have really delved into that to go and maybe write it better than what I'm making it out to be. But I think you could have done anything of that sort, and it doesn't, though. It just kind of ends. It doesn't... Obviously, you could figure they're in the truck, they'll call their mom and stepdad and blah blah blah. Will the cops pick Joel Kinnaman up? As in, will they find him? Will Joel Kinnaman character do that? Blow his brains out? Will he still try to go after and hitch a ride and try to go after get the kids? Will he try to disappear? Will he try to find them in London? Like, what will happen? I mean, will he just give up and just try to live in the cabin? I mean, there's not a lot of what's the word? Resolution. There's not much of a resolution to it. I think that could, kind of peter out people's thoughts on the film. But I don't think this is a bad film. I thought it was a decent watch. I'm glad I saw it at least once. Tom Holland and Joel Kinnaman, again, they played it low-key and subtle. I could feel a sense of tension where they do care for each other, but things are just not working out because of the father's anger issues. But at the same time, he's trying. It's just he's trying so hard, but he's failing as well. And you wish he could just give his soul a kick in the ass. But I'm glad. It's interesting the movie made me feel that way. Because, like I said, Joel Kinnaman, I never thought much of him as an actor, but this did impress me. So that was refreshing. Like I said, it doesn't get the exciting elements of a thriller, so that could turn a lot of people off. That's why I say this is more of a drama. And while I do think it lost a bit of the landing at the end, I think there's some missed potential that hurts the film. Overall, this was at least a decent one-timer watch. So with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.